CIO News. I am Khushbu Soni, your host for the broadcast and a contributing editor at CIO News. This is a recorded session and will be available on our website, which is ciunews.co.in, and our CIO News LinkedIn handle. This is an exclusive interview powered by Tata Communications on new age collaboration and digital customer experience. Let me dive in introducing my guest for today. He is Mr. Vishwas Joshi, Global Head Technology Services at Tata Consulting Services. Vishwas heads Global Technology Division at Tata Consulting Services. Vishwas has been a part of leadership team and is involved in strategy formation and execution of transformational projects. Vishwas has rich experience of about 25 years plus, primarily managing data center services, data center architecture, standardization, cloud services, end user services like Active Directory messaging, network portfolio, as well as financial management of technology infrastructure expenses. Welcome, Vishwas. It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure is mine. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. Along with me, today we have Jay Vellin. He's the head India and Mecca business for Unified Communications at Tata Communications. Jay has 25 years of experience in collaboration business working with various brands such as BT, Aircel, Netcore, etc. Welcome, Jay.
Happy to be in here. Thanks, Khushbu.
Okay. So my first question is for you, Vishwas. If you can, we are all aware about Tata Consulting Services. So as a brand, we're very well aware. But if you can give us a quick brief, that would help us begin.
Hi. First of all, thanks for calling me, inviting me for this session. So I think as everyone is aware of, it's Tata Consultancy Services is number one in IT consulting in India, and I think in top 3 worldwide as part of the ITS industry or consulting industry, so to speak. Just recently we crossed 500,000 employee strength worldwide, spread across multiple countries and geographies, having nationalities from 155 countries. So it's a big organization, and supporting or providing IT services to all Fortune 500 organizations across the world. So it's an organization which is with the scale and the spread and the complexity with anyways come with that. So that's what we do, and very happy to be part of TCS and Tata Group per se, and very, very happy for my team and proud of my team that during pandemic, it's not just that we continue to support our business, but also our customers' business, especially in healthcare industry, pharma industry, which were on the forefront of the pandemic, and we were the drivers, ensuring that they didn't fail.
Right.
So yeah.
Awesome. So Vishwas, also, while with the current challenges and the unprecedented challenges we have been going through, how did you collaborate with your employees, to solve project issues, or with the stakeholders to get and real-time projects through this?
I think collaboration was a piece which actually held the whole employee base together. That was the crux around which all other activities that we did, whether it was collaboration within the team or within the employees or even with customers. I think collaboration piece, whether it is Microsoft O365 team, MS Teams or WebEx, I think these 2 things were the pillar of all the collaboration that we could achieve in this pandemic time when the FaceTime was not possible. But the next best thing we could do was having a video calls like what we are having today, and then it was predominantly supported by Microsoft Teams and also WebEx. So it was most important thing during this time, and I think it will continue to be so.
Sure, sure. Also, my follow-up question on that is, what steps has your organization taken for SIP connectivity, MS Teams and WebEx nodes, and interoperability between the chat application and voice capabilities?
So I think MS Teams, I think it is right now has become the part of the TCS DNA now, the way we collaborate, and also the WebEx to an extent, where it is given for specific purposes, specific use cases. And I think with that, voice and video was taken care of. Apart from that, I think WebEx, anyways, we are having telephony included in that, so that you can have uh, people coming from IP, people coming from PSTN, and they all could interact with each other. Obviously, within collaboration tools that we have, MS Teams and WebEx, there was no collaboration between collaboration tools. And that's the next step, which we are working with the partner ecosystem, whether it is Microsoft or Cisco, to look at how these can coexist and cooperate.
Right.
So that is where we are taking it to the next level, working with the partner ecosystem right now.
Okay. Awesome. And with the current trend in technologies, how important is it become to migrate to digital platforms, and what factors do you consider while migrating to cloud and digital platforms?
I don't think we can live or survive without digital. Everything that is, I think, and pandemic has shown that who were digitally in an advanced stage, they could adopt to this new reality very well in a better fashion, and actually thrive during this pandemic time. So I think digital is given. It's not if, it is has to be there. So it has become must. It is not a question of if now. So digital is something which is the has to be part of the DNA of the organization now. Any organization in any field, any vertical, I think it has to be, all the processes and everything has to be digitized. So there is no two ways about it. Obviously, in this digital journey, cloud and SaaS services will play a very big role, predominantly because two things. One is it is pay per use, so you use it, you pay it when you use it, and secondly, the scales that you can get, and to build those kind of scales, like all these hyperscalers, like whether it is Google or Azure or AWS, these are hyperscalers which provide you infrastructure on demand. Now that you can't do it building it on premise, which is impossible. Right. So I think that's where the whole see, for IT industry, I think it is more important, invented here or deployed here, moving from on-premise to going to cloud, going to SaaS services, is uh, is a paradigm which has to be adopted, because that gives you faster go-to-market.
Right.
So I think these 2-3 things are going to be the cornerstone of how the business operates going forward, and we are already seeing that in last 1.5 years.
Absolutely. Now, I would just want to focus more on the customer aspect as well. So, if you can maybe share some insights on how do you measure your customer experience. If you can share some lights and techniques for emerging customer experience technologies.
So I think what we have seen is we as part of the operations, we generate a lot of data in terms of whether it is monitoring, whether it is logs and all that. I think what was happening is that data was going somewhere and was just sitting there. In last 1.5 years, what we have found out is using AI and ML, if we can mine this data, the analytics part of it, I think it's a wealth of information that can give lot of perspective in terms of what people are thinking about you, whether it is customer or customer's customer. And I think, and how you using analytics, how can you join the dots? Because that is very, very important. Moving from siloed way of looking at things to collaborative way of looking at things. I think that's where the analytics has played a big role, where it gives a lot of insights in terms of what are the sentiments of people, whether it is my employees, whether it is my customer or customers of customers. Because data is there, it's just that you need to mine it. And analytics has the big data analytics, the data lake, everything has played a very, very important role in that.
Right. Very true. Jay, you can also share your insights on the customer experience trends and the technologies that have been adopted by the organizations, while you also work with a lot of large players. If you can share some insights on that.
Sure, Kushbu. Thanks for the opportunity. So obviously, I can't agree more with Vishwas. So just before the call, I was with the TCS team only, exactly on the same customer experience solution discussion. The thing is that, like what you heard from Vishwas, there are, as a part of the process, as part of the business outsourcing, or as part of extending the IT support to the global customers like TCS kind of a companies, there is enough and more data, right? So how do we interpret that data to improve the customer experience is where the technology has to play an important role. To that extent, like what you heard from Vishwas, be it AI, ML, there are so many other digital features that's already come in. Even from realizing the voice of the customer on the call, that technology will say that the customer is in an agreement mode or is in a disagreement mode or in anger. All that kind of a technology is today available. For that data, with having a data is one part of it. The technology is actually enabling it. How do we actually improve with those data, right? So that's what matters most for the business. And that's definitely, it's been a greater space today that we are all in. Gone are those days that conventional technology, just taking a call and talking to the agent and infinitely waiting in the queue, that's all done. It's all omni-channels. I'm on a WhatsApp, I'm on a Instagram, I'm on a Facebook. I'll just reach the vendor or the service provider, and then service provider should have all this capability to get that consumer reached or addressed for their particular business, right? So that's more important. And in that aspect, like what you heard from Vishwas, the customer experience is the key. And for that, moving to the digital, moving to the cloud is no more an option. So that's where I think any company, be it a small scale or on the large scale, if there is any company, at least I will put it this way, any company to stay relevant and stay compete in the market they operate, digital customer experience is a must. There is no options to it.
Right.
Yeah, just to add to Javel, I think the most important thing is we are moving from single channel to omni-channel, multi-channel, reachability that we are providing to customers. So whether it is WhatsApp or whether it is chat or maybe a telephone or a video call, and we've seen it has in last 1.5 years, it has changed dramatically. If you ask me, I bought a credit card, 6 months back, and the KYC happened online on a video call. Now that is completely unheard of. 1.5 years back, if any bank could think about it, we would have said that these guys are mad. But now pandemic has forced us to look at things, and we now can think why we did not even think about this earlier, right? So I think it's an opportunity pandemic has given. Obviously, it's a bad thing for people who lost lives and their families. But purely from a technology perspective, it was a godsend. The business 4.0, whatever transformation we are talking about, which was going on for past 4 years, I think that we have achieved, we have leapfrogged in last 1.5 years. I would say that that's a once in a lifetime opportunity, as purely from a technologist perspective I'm talking about. Human aspects, I completely agree, which is with pretty bad situation.
Absolutely, absolutely, Vishwas. In fact, you can't be more right. The technology that transformed today, we won't even thought of this kind of a technology a couple of years back. Imagine the Samsung refrigerator at your home is part of your WhatsApp family group. The Samsung refrigerator will say that, hey man, I'm running short of milk, load it. So that kind of a technology is already in, and we are living in that world. And similarly, store at home. Store at home, nobody was actually imagined that, though it was there, but today it's an important aspect for any business, because the walk-in is actually gone down, like what we heard it, because it's a human factor into it. We want to be very cautious. We don't want to get affected with the virus and all that, but we still wanted to live that normal life. So how do we enable that? See, these are all the technology. Shop at home is something like, I would like to purchase a refrigerator, but I don't want to move what I'm sitting at my reception or in my hall. I would like to complete the purchase. There is a technology available today. Just visit the website. You just click the product. You will have a complete in-showroom experience. You will do all that sitting at your comfort in your reception or in your hall. So the thing is that not only getting that experience, the technology enables the business, right, at the consumer side as well, at the business side as well. So this is an era that it's actually a rapid change from what it was to what is today. It's a rapid change. Obviously, some external force like pandemic, but cloud is the way. Digital transformation is the way forward. Absolutely.
True, very true. I couldn't agree more. I have the next question around the same lines of customer experience, right? And customer service. So, Vishwas, if you can share insights of what will be your contact center's working model going forward, for better customer service. Like you said, it's only channel, so what would be the working model going forward?
So what we are looking at is it's omni-channel, and what we see, and if I just limit it to my employee base, which is 500,000, it's a sizable amount of customers that I have. And what we have seen is with Teams, people are, even if you see WhatsApp, people are more comfortable chatting rather than calling or going to a help desk system and typing in their issues. Okay, so what we are doing now is we have created a bot which interacts with the user. If using the NLP, it understands the problem that person has, so he has to type in English. He understands the problem using NLP, and then if there is already a problem which has been solved, similar problem, it suggests the user that you can do this. Okay, so it is getting more immersive, more interactive, so that you are engaged with the customer continuously, and you provide upfront help, so that if 60% of the problem gets resolved on its own, your TAT, your SLA, your user experience, customer experience, everything improves. So it has to be like that. It can't be just, and I think people are ready for that. That's what I see. Everywhere you see, whether it is Tata Sky or whether it is any of the banks, all are going towards that. And I think this is the way it is going to be. It is going to be immersive. It is going to be interactive, to keep engaged with the customer. That's the way. So that's why the omni-channel plays a very big role. So whether I call or whether I already have a ticket raised through a call, but when I start chatting, there is a linkage possible, so that the customer doesn't have to again repeat a lot of things, because that is irritating.
Right.
So all these things, I think, are going to play a big role in ensure that you are retaining your customer and you are keeping your customer happy.
Right. True. Jay, your insights on what suggestions you think you could give on, as a working model for contact centers to improvise on customer experience?
Great. So we were discussing the cloud migration, digital migrations, and we were also touching on the technology that enables this, the migration or the transformation, right? So beyond this, like what we heard from Vishwas, the consumers are actually changing, right? The consumers are actually not no more the same conventional consumers. It's a Gen Y, Gen is whatever, right? So these consumers are not definitely not okay with the conventional way that customer experience is getting addressed on a chat, on an instant communications. They would like to get the answer. They don't want to wait for hours to days to get a response. It needs to be instant. What it means to the customer experience is that gone are those days that we were actually okay be living with the reactive responses to the customer request, right? Today, today almost all the business, being it a BFSI vertical or any other consumer services or even the technology aspect for that matter, it needs to be proactive in many sense as much as possible. Rather than customers calling them and take the services, how proactively give that better experience to the consumer is what the business is always looking at. Maybe everyone might be experiencing it, maybe we may be knowing it or unknowingly we are actually going through it, be it your the credit card engagement with your bank. There are a lot of proactive communications comes to you, right? You be it your monthly engagement with your banking services or your insurance services. Gone are those days, right? We don't need to go and talk to them. There are so much of proactive communications coming, right? How this technology that we are actually talking today or going through today enable this proactive communication in a more immersive way, productive way is what the way forward is actually looking at. And that's also starts with a couple of other digital technology that we've been talking it, be it AI, ML, multiple other features, cognitive technologies, including the human emotions, how the human emotions can be read and then can be implemented for the business outcome. And that also on the other side, how we improve the agent efficiency, right? When an agent is actually giving that services to the end consumer, that agent has to be very efficient in terms of standing for that brand, standing for that logo and the company. How do we enable that agents, and what are the different tools? Maybe the self-service portal before the consumer comes and talk to the agent. So much of data of the consumer actually comes and stand in front of the agent, and that gives that the personal greeting and then virtual IVR. So many options have been introduced into this customer experience per se. Like I said earlier, one has to be stay relevant and compete in a particular market. The customer experience is very critical and key for any business. It doesn't stay with a particular business, for any business for that matter.
Yeah, and just to add to Jay, again, just reminds me from a customer experience perspective and specifically for India, where you have, I think, hundreds of languages. How, for technologists, I think we need to look at how we can enable vernacular language support to the extent that today available for English speaking, because I think there is a big language divide, which is right now today not allowing, I think almost 50% of the people to interact the way we could because we know English. So I think that is a big challenge for technologists, and I'm sure we would have something, because this is a unique problem for us, having so many languages. So I think that would be the next step to bring in complete user experience.
True. Awesome. These have been great insights. This brings to my last question to you, Vishwas. If you can share some insights, the best practices for other technology leaders and our viewers, and certain do's and don'ts for them that you'd like to suggest.
So I'm not a guru. I'm also a learner. So but I think most important thing is you need to have customer as a center of your focus. There can't be anything else. And any technology and anything that you are going to deploy has to be giving a business outcome which is going to help customer. I think that is most important. Technologists especially gets wowed by the technology, but technology for the sake of technology doesn't mean anything unless it is solving a problem for a customer. I think that is most important. And secondly, you have to take a leap of faith. Sometimes technologies are not proven, and that's where the your partner ecosystem comes into picture, where you can join your hands and then take the journey together, whether it is Tata Communications or Cisco or any other player, Microsoft. It's a ecosystem, partner ecosystem that you need to have a strong partner ecosystem, so that these journeys, which are not easy, when you are transforming your services, you are transforming, moving from. So we were completely zero as per a policy. We did not allow anyone to work from home. There was no HR policy. Moving from 0 to 100% work from home in 3 weeks time, it requires lot of handholding by partner ecosystem. And so partners are most important, whether it is Tatacom. I again will take that name because they have been tremendous help for us. Similar to that, the other partners like Cisco, Microsoft, and all these guys. So I think most important is the relationship with the partners, relationship with your customers, and relationship with all your stakeholders, including management, because finally they are going to give you the money. So I think that what makes business run, because technology is just small piece of it. It is just an enabler, but rest of it is most important.
Absolutely. Great. This was very insightful, Vishwas. Thank you for sharing all your candid responses. It's a pleasure to host you. Pleasure to have you, Jay. Thank you so much for participating. And I'm sure all my viewers are going to get very good insights.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishwas. Thank you so much for your presence on the call. And
thanks, Jay. Thanks. And thanks for inviting me. It was a pleasure talking to all of you. Thank you.
Same. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Vishwas.